Hi everyone. Today I want to talk to you about my chore schedule. So, how I get all my chores done during the week. First, I go in and I decide what chores I'm actually going to do because some of the chores I don't do, like dusting. I'm not a duster, so I'm not going to be dusting. Now, if I see something that needs to be dusted, then maybe I will go find the duster and dust it. But on the most times, no, I'm not going to dust. And I'm not going to put dusting on my list of chores and things that I need to do. I'm only going to put the things on there that I'm actually going to do and that actually matter to me. Nobody cares. Well, I don't care if my house is not dusted. I actually invested in those air purifier thingamajigs. I have some from Levoit, I think. And I have them in what I call my dusting areas. Um, and so that supposedly they say that that's supposed to cut down on the dust. And then I also change my filters in my air conditioner once a month. I think you're only supposed to change them every 3 months, but I have bad allergies, so I change mine once a month. And we have like the super duper, like, gold ones or something like that that you can put in there. So I don't really get a lot of dust anyway, but if I did, I probably would dust. That's just not something that I enjoy and I'm going to do. So I don't have that down. So the things that I know that need to be done on a weekly basis at our house is the bathrooms need to be cleaned. Now they probably need to be cleaned, especially the sink and the toilet in the boys' room. Probably need to be cleaned like every day. Nope, not doing that. I limit myself to 1.5 chores a day, and I only do chores Monday through Friday. So days that I'm working, I do chores. I don't do chores on the weekend, unless there's like a throw up incident and then I have to clean something. I don't do that. Um, so I know I have to clean the bathrooms, and cleaning the bathrooms for me is defined as the toilet, the sinks, and the counters. That's it. Like, we're not like going for broke. We're not doing the floors. We're not doing the bathtub. We're not doing the shower. That's not what we do. Um, we just do the bare minimum to get it clean, and then we move on to something else. I will clean, like I said, I'll clean the toilets and whatnot. I only clean the bathtub and the shower when I notice that it's dirty. If I don't notice that it's dirty, I don't clean it. And how do I clean it? I definitely do not get in there and scrub it on my hands and knees. I don't do that. I fill it up with hot water, I put some bleach in it, and I put some floor cleaner in there and whatever kind of other cleaners I got around. I make some sort of melting pot stew, and then I let it sit there all day, and then I pull the plug on it, and that is what I call clean. And then I will rinse it out. I'll rinse it out, but that's it. Um, I don't get all the way into the nitty gritty, and I don't clean out the little cracks and crevices and stuff like that. I just no, like we're not in that phase of our life. We're going for half ass is better than no ass at all. That's where we are in our lives, and that's okay because it works for me. Everybody's happy, and no one has ever come over here and said, "Geez, your house is a mess." Although I think my mother-in-law has insinuated that before, but it's okay. That's what I do on Mondays. So on Mondays, I clean the bathrooms. And the reason I clean the bathrooms on Monday is, in my mind, I feel like they have like been here all weekend, so they have probably like ripped that bathroom a new one, and it probably needs to be cleaned. Tuesdays, I mop the floors. So we have carpet and we have hardwoods, and so on Tuesdays, I mop the floors. I don't sweep before I mop the floors. I don't vacuum before I mop the floors. I just mop the floors. And whatever comes up, comes up. So how I mop the floors is I have a Swiffer duster, and we have a lot of shop towels that are white. And so I'll go in the kitchen sink, and then I'll count to like 4 or 5 and like dump in like some Fabuloso floor cleaner in there, and just put like maybe an inch of water in there, so it's like really concentrated, right? And then I dip the washcloth in there, and then I just put it on the Swiffer duster, and then I just go till it's dry-ish, and then I will go wring it out. I'll wash the dirt off in one sink with cold water, so like all the dirt comes out of it, and then I'll go back to the hot water and dip it in again. I do not mop every surface in the house, so I don't go up the stairs and mop the floors in the bathrooms. I don't do that. I don't do the dining room because nobody ever goes in there. So there's no reason to like mop it. I probably will mop it like, I don't know. I wouldn't even say I mop it once a month. I would just say it just sits there. Um, my office that I'm in right now, I probably mop it like every other time that I mop because usually like it's like none of the boys come in here, so it's not messy, it's not dirty. So I just don't. Why do that? The place that's the dirtiest is the spot from the front door to the back door. There's a phone call coming in. Um, that is, I call that the lane, and that is where the dogs run back and forth from the front door to the back door. Every time they hear a noise, they have to check to make sure that there's nothing in the front door and there's nothing at the back door. So that area I do mop, and sometimes I'll mop it twice. So sometimes I'll mop it, and then I'll go to the kitchen, mop the kitchen. I'll go to the kitchen table, and I'll mop around the kitchen table, and then I'll mop around the bathroom down here, and then I'll go back and mop the lane again just to like really make sure it's clean. And then usually when I do that, I'll remember that I have an office, and I'll mop in there. Um, it doesn't take me more than 10 minutes to mop. Again, I'm not going for perfection. I'm going for getting it done. That's all that matters to me. I'm not going into cracks and crevices and things like that. That's not what I'm going to do. We don't have time for that, and nobody looks at your cracks and crevices anyway, so who cares? And that's what I do on Tuesdays. Now, on Wednesdays, I go through and do my grocery list inventory. That I consider a chore because it takes me a good 10 to 15 minutes to do that. So it's a chore, and I do that. So I go through, and as you've seen my other video about the grocery list matrix that I have, I go through and I look for things that we need. I don't place the order yet. I think I just like order it. Like I just put it on the list. And then I let it sit there because what happens is I will make a list, I will order my groceries, and then dang it if I don't remember like 17 things right after that. So I just make the list. I might add them to my cart at Kroger, but I won't place the order yet. I don't place the order until Thursdays because I have to like let it simmer to make sure that I haven't forgotten anything. And then I also talk to my husband too and see what he needs from the store because you never know what he needs from the store. So but anyway, so I'll do that. And then what I will do is that's it for Wednesday. And then Thursday is dishwasher day. So my husband washes like most of the dishes by hand, and he's weird. I don't know what's wrong with him. But he washes most of the dishes by hand, so there's not a lot of dishes in the dishwasher, so we don't have to run a load every single night. If you have to run a load every single night, then I guess you're going to have to do them like every day or maybe figure something out, maybe wash more dishes, I don't know. But we only have to wash it once a week. So on Thursdays, I run the dishwasher. And then when they get done, I put them out on the dining room table with a towel under them because even though you wash all that plastic in the dishwasher, it does not come out dry. And there is a drying cycle. I don't get it. I don't understand why it dries if the dishes come out wet. I don't get it. And my stepmom was like, just open the door. Just open the door and leave it and they will dry. I've done that. I've opened the door. I've left it there for 8 hours. And dude, they're not dry. They're not dry. So I put them out in the dining room and I let them dry and then I'll put them away later. So that's kind of my chore for Thursday. I also place my grocery order in the morning. We do the Kroger Boost delivery, so you kind of have to order them a day in advance. So my plan is to get the groceries here on Friday. So on Thursday what I'll do is I'll look at my calendar for Friday to see when I'm free. And then I'll place the grocery order for that hour window so that at least I know that they're not going to interrupt me when I'm working. And then also, so I know when the groceries are going to be here so I can open the garage door so that they can just come in, put them in the garage. And if I am busy, I can just get them later, right? And then also on Fridays, I do the little trash cans. So I have a little trash can in my office. I have a little trash can in all the bathrooms upstairs and downstairs. So I empty the trash out and put it into the main trash can. Our trash day is not until Sunday. But again, we don't do chores on the weekends. So that's what we do on Friday. Now, vacuuming. Yeah, I'm sure you noticed in that chore chart that there's never a time to vacuum. I actually got myself one of those Roomba vacuums. Now I've had the off-brand ones too. before, but this last time I actually, well, what happened was is the vacuum cleaner, the old one, ran over dog poop while I was training my new dogs, and it took it like 12 feet in the house, and I was very mad, and I tried to get it off the vacuum by getting it wet, and that was stupid. I was so dumb. So I ruined the vacuum cleaner. So I did some research, and the vacuum cleaner I got is it's a Roomba, and it's a J9 or a J7 one, and it's the one that empties itself. And it is actually really really cool because it will not vacuum over dog poop. So if it sees something on the ground, and it is not dirt, like it doesn't know if it's dirt or not, it's not going to vacuum over it. It's going to take a picture of it, and then when it gets done cleaning, you can go in and review the images, and you can say, yes, that's dirt, or no, that's not, or never vacuum there again. And then as it's been vacuuming, it creates like a map of your house, and you just go in and you like label the rooms and stuff. So if I wanted to, I could just vacuum the living room, or I could just vacuum the office, or I could just vacuum, wherever. The office never gets vacuumed because I have it set to turn on at 8:45 in the morning, and I start my day at 9 with work. Well, I really started at 8, but I start phone calls at 9. So I can't be in here because it's too loud, so I have to shut the doors. But we did invest in that, and that one was expensive. I think it was $600 or $800. It was very expensive. So that might not be something that's in the budget. But for us, we really needed to have a vacuum that vacuumed every day. Not because the kids are messy, but because the dogs. The dogs bring in stuff. The kids drop stuff. There are crumbs and dog stuff everywhere. So I just have it set up where it runs every day at 8:45, and it does the living room, the lane, and it does the kitchen. That's all it does, because those are the areas where things get dropped the most. And it might also do the kitchen area where we eat. It might also do that too. And then it just does this little thing, and then it goes back and it empties itself. The bags and stuff I think are expensive. I think it was $10 for 3 bags. But my sister just found some on Amazon that was 30 bags for $30. That's $1 a bag. So we're definitely going to be doing that when we run out of the bags that we have now. The bags that I have now, I actually use them twice. So I'll have my husband cut the bottom off of them and like duct tape it back on, because no, there's no way. That's too expensive. I'm very cheap, so no. I'm not cheap. I mean, I will invest in things that we need, but at the same time, I'm not just gonna like it took me 6 months to save the money for this vacuum cleaner that I have now, but I definitely don't spend money on a whim. But I think that was good for our household. If your house is very cluttered, I would not recommend getting a vacuum cleaner yet until you've got some of that clutter out of the way, because if not, it has nowhere to vacuum and it might get stuck. And we can go over how to get started with decluttering your house in a later video. I should write that down so I can talk about that later. But those are the chores that I do. And then I have a list of things I do once a month. So once a month I wash all the sheets. I change the kitchen sponge because that never gets changed. Change the kitchen sponge. I have my husband change the filters in the air conditioner. He also cleans out the sinks because one of us has a lot of hair on their head, and like all the sinks just get clogged with my hair. So he cleans out all of those. He also double checks our washing machine to make sure that it's running like it should. He drains the backup drain in the washer every month. That's important to do. And we do a couple other things, I feel like, once a month. We change and do, but I can't think of what they are right now. So we do have a list of weekly chores, and we have a list of monthly chores, and then there's some as needed chores. So if I'm like moving stuff around, or I got a wild hair to change my office up again, I'll dust then. But I'm not going to dust like every day. That's just ridiculous. Or even once a month. I don't do that. And I'm not a fan. I mean, I would pay for someone to come like deep clean my house so then I could like keep it up or whatnot, but we haven't done that like ever. So this is just how I maintain the cleanliness that is our house. And our house is pretty clean. I did have, this was years ago. Years ago, I was really into the Fly Lady. So I don't know if she's still in it now, but essentially what she had was zones, and she had chores. So every day you had a list of chores to do. Every week you had like a zone in your house to clean. And then every day you had some random thing to clean, like um, the trash can. You had to like get the trash can and like pour soap in it and like clean all the cracks and crevices and stuff. Um, I don't do that now because now I am in the maintenance mode, as I call it, right? The maintenance mode. But that to me was really good for me to help me get started, because I was able to like deep clean my whole house in like a year. And it was a year, and I didn't do every chore they said to do, and I didn't do, all the things they said to do. I didn't have all the things, all the rooms that apparently she has or whatnot. So I didn't do all the things. I also didn't have kids back then, and I wasn't married back then. So I had like all the time in the world to do that. So it might not be helpful to folks that are like in the thick of it, like I am now. But it was good to like learn how to do things and establish a routine of doing things and cleaning things and keeping things clean, so that way you don't have to go back and like do a deep cleaning anymore. So that part to me was really good. She has a book. I think I only read like half of it, but she does have a book as well. So, but she really helped me through like a little bit of a dark time where I needed to have my brain occupied constantly so that I would not go down a rabbit hole. So it was helpful. So maybe you want to look it up and maybe not do everything that she has on there, because I think she must clean for a living, because there's no way anybody can get all that stuff done every day. But anyway, so that's kind of how I keep my house clean, more of like a maintenance. But we are going to go over in a future episode. I think that's what these are called. Maybe they're called videos. We are going to go through a future episode on how to start decluttering, and how to like get your house where you want it to be. That's probably going to be like multiple parts, when I get that far, because I'm really just shooting from the hip right now. But I probably should like organize that one. So I appreciate everyone's time. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and have a great rest of your day.